Start your day just right. Welcome to Mornings Together with Rob, Mon, and Bernie.
Good morning, everybody. It is great to have you with us on this freezing Thursday morning.
Freezing.
I know we normally call this the Feels Thursday, but today it could be the Freeze Thursday.
That's freezing Thursday. You know, it's
so
funny.
cold.
In New Zealand, we always have those 3 or 4 days that are just like biting cold,
Yeah.
right in the middle of winter. These are those 3 days.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought it might have been that little cold snap 2 weeks ago, but no, it is.
No,
It is right
yeah.
now.
You even knew last night. I was like, "Oh, it's cold."
Yeah, you were saying, Rob, you went out to your spa pool this morning.
Yeah,
for
there's
your
ice on the lid.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that cold. Wow.
Yeah.
The question the audience will want to know is, did you still get in?
No, I didn't go in the spa pool. I went out to fetch my poor dog who was out in his kennel freezing. So,
Yeah.
but the ice was definitely thick.
Yes,
Oh.
Cooper got the camo sweater
Oh, yeah. Come on.
out for his walk today.
Dogs
My-
with sweaters.
My
There we go.
parents actually purchased from AliExpress a electric dog bed a couple of years ago for their dog. So their dog sleeps in a lap of luxury in the lounge in an electrically heated
Yeah.
dog
I'd be
bed.
afraid that thing would malfunction. We'd wake up with roast dog in the morning, you know? Like,
What's it smell?
I smell
Hot dog. Yeah.
Oh man! Good morning, Georgia. You were in at 9 o'clock straight away.
Woohoo.
Good to
Nice.
see you.
Hey,
We are
Georgia.
anxiously awaiting the arrival of those crepes you made last night.
Come on.
yeah, they
Yeah.
look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So looking forward to having some of those this morning. So thank
That's
you,
right.
Georgia. Good morning to Graham as well. Great to have
Yay,
you with
Graham
us.
Randall.
Yes.
No, Graham wasn't with us on
And
Tuesday.
Carol.
He sent in me a separate text message saying, "Sorry guys, I wasn't able to be on with you this morning because I was off on an appointment." How devoted is Graham?
I
He's
know.
devoted.
Carol and
Actually,
Graham. They're
I had to give
amazing.
him. I had to give him one of our mugs on Sunday because I was just
Yeah.
like one of our most devoted listeners. So here we
That's
go.
right.
Yes, he has reminded us that it is not as cold as the South this morning.
Yes,
That's right.
Which is something the South never lets us forget either.
That's
Um,
right.
yeah. We're by the sea and we're in Tauranga and it's 3
And it's
degrees.
this
So
cold.
it's
Yeah.
pretty cold everywhere else too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. This morning on the show we've got Mr. Brian Kirby.
Yeah, Brian. Woohoo.
Great to have you with us,
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Man of Mystery, as we've alluded. Why we're going to get into a longer extended talk with you later on,
Yeah.
but why not for people who may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself, your family. You and your family. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for having me here. It's great,
No
great
worries.
to be on the show.
Yeah, we love you,
Early,
Brian.
early in the days, I was watching it online, and it was so good to have a connection with the church with you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit about myself. I'm married. I've been married for 30 years now to Marion.
Yeah.
I've got 3. I was going to say kids, but they're not anymore. Young adults.
Mhm.
So Alex is 21. He's doing a Bachelor of Design at University of Waikato.
Cool.
Hannah is 19 and she's doing early childhood, also at Waikato. And Sarah is finishing off her year 13 at Bethlehem College. So yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
So yep, they've grown up well. They've fun. Yep, it's been good. I also work here at church. I work with the intermediate youth called Phase Youth, and also part of my role is working in the schools as 24/7 youth
Mhm.
worker.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Now let's put the rumor to bed.
Fantastic.
Let's put the rumor to bed before we get into our extended interview later on.
Yes.
There's a rumor going around that you used to work for the SAS, that you used to
Yeah.
do covert missions.
French Foreign Legion.
French. I know you probably can't speak about it too much, but you can either nod or shake your head. Have you at any point been involved with the SAS?
Highly confidential, but unfortunately not.
Well, there you go, everybody. That's us for this morning. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
That's all you wanted to know.
That's all you wanted to know. So it is the Feels Thursday. Let me get the little ticker going for us this morning.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Come on.
I ran into Andrew Court last night and asked him why we don't have our cool little bumper thing.
Where is that
Yeah.
little bumper? Andrew Court. Where is it?
He put it down to he's been busy with other projects, but also the fact that he's trying to film the coffee machine in the church cafe, and every time he comes in to film it, someone's using it, which all of us around this table know that that's not true.
That's right. It's right.
We work here, buddy.
Yeah, we
We
work
know.
here.
So Andrew, text me. We'll arrange a time for you to film the coffee machine so we can get those intros.
That's right.
Which
We
will
may even buy you lunch.
we may
Or
do,
coffee.
but we may not.
Our
Graham
budget expense.
Graham Randall says it was a lovely gift. Thank you.
Nice.
He also says that Brian, that you must be God's spy then.
That's right.
Yep.
And George is saying if we want those things that we have to, there's 8 that are left and we have to shout the flight for her to come up. I like that there's a stunned silence after that. So-
That's right.
I know she's coming up next week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you bring them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We got a hi from Cuddy Cuddy
Oh,
from
the Foursquare.
the Foursquare.
Woohoo.
What's up, Foursquare Kitty Kitty?
Yeah, how's it going,
Yeah,
Foursquare?
right on.
Best wine shop in New Zealand.
Georgia is saying that my dog, even when I'm down here, sleeps on my bed with the blanket over
No.
him.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, people. Dogs don't sleep on beds. This is just ridiculous.
Michaela Gary is late, but says good morning and hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Michaela.
Hey, Michaela.
Hey.
Well, it is the Feels Thursday, so we're going to kick things off with a question that actually comes to us
Ooh.
from. Actually, I haven't introduced everybody properly in the studio this morning, so I'm going to do that first. So, of course, we have producer Logan. Good morning, producer Logan.
Logan.
Hey everyone.
It's great to have you with us.
Producer
I went home after Tuesday's one, and Vika was like, "It's so cool to hear producer Logan." So
It's good.
you're gonna you have your own fan
Got
following.
to chime in, bro. You got to chime in. The man of mystery. It's like that guy. Remember Home Improvement? Who was behind the fence?
Oh,
Yeah,
You only ever saw his
What was
eyes.
his name? What was his
Yeah.
name?
Wilson?
Walter. Or, no,
Wilson.
Wilson.
Hey, Wilson.
Producer Logan, you're the Wilson of our show because we
we
can
do,
only
you
see
know.
your eyes.
That's right. We can only see your eyes.
We can literally only
Wilson.
see him over the screen. So.
And Peter Jones and Sandra Jones just commented saying, "Absolutely, Rob, best little shop around."
Yeah.
Come on.
Right on.
Hey, Foursquare, if you want to, endorse the show,
That's right.
We'll put you on our ticket.
We can put you on our ticket.
That's right.
Yeah, put it on the wall or on the
Specials
ticket.
today.
The Feels
Yeah.
Thursday, brought to you
Foursquare.
by New World Cuddy.
Oh, right on. It
How about
sounds-
that?
I like the sound
I like
of
the
it.
sound of that.
Yeah.
We can make it work. But yes, of course. But joining us at the desk with producer Logan this morning, we have a very special guest. We have co-producer Lily. Good morning, Lily.
Yeah, Lily.
Hello,
How are you?
Hello.
I am fine.
Now,
So-
how is it that you're able to be with us today?
I don't have school today.
Ooh.
Very
nice.
good.
Now, every week on Thursday, we do a little bit of a catch-up question. And this morning, the catch-up question comes from you. Would you like to ask the question to us? What do we need to talk about?
What's your favorite food?
What is our favorite food?
Yeah, well, very good.
Good. Favorite foods.
We'll start with our guest, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
What is your favorite food?
I wish you'd put me last. I really struggle with this question. I've always struggled with this question.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I love food. I just love all sorts of food.
You can't tell by his physique, but
No. Well, that's because he goes cycling every half hour.
it's a bit like Eric Schulperot. He's one of those guys that's just like
Can
thin,
eat and
eat
and
anything,
thin.
but
I
just
know.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does help doing a bit of cycling.
It does help.
Yeah.
A little bit. Favorite food is always the tough question for me. I love curry. I love desserts. Is probably if I had to classify one thing, desserts.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Anything chocolate.
Sweet
Yeah.
chocolate.
Bit of a sweet tooth for Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very
yeah,
good.
that's probably one of the toughest questions I have ever had to answer.
Wow.
Mhm.
There we go.
The rest of the interview is going to be a breeze.
Oh,
And
so
that's
it's gonna
good.
be a breeze. Yeah.
Totally.
Monica,
Very
what about your favorite food?
My current, I've got lots of favorite foods, but my current obsession
Mhm.
Mm.
is Vietnamese pho.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Pho's.
Ooh,
It
come
is
on.
like
PHO.
we've been all over Taringa trying to find the best, and like rice baby
Rice
baby
Baby
is good.
does an awesome one, and just different ones. So we're trying all the different places.
Mhm.
So I'm obsessed with it right now.
Nice.
So yum. Yeah.
Flavor, Rob? This is probably the hardest question for you as well because you're
Wow.
Yeah. Current obsession.
current obsession, current favorite food.
My current obsession being in winter, I really love fried noodles. I know that sounds
Oh,
like
wow.
what? That is the most simple, disgusting food. But I'm telling you, fried noodles with because it's hot.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
a good bit of Vietnamese flavor or something
Yeah.
like that in it. Fried noodles right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Right now.
I think for me, and it always has been this, is a good burger. Like, because there's a lot of variety within the contents of a
Yeah.
burger, but typically more of a beef kind of typical like quarter poundery kind of
Yeah.
cheese kind of thing kind of guy. Burgers always get me going.
Yeah.
They're a good
Favorite
time.
burger
Favorite burger
from where?
Ooh,
Where's
here
your
we go.
favorite burger from where?
Nail him down.
But it's like it's one of these things you're gonna probably judge me, Rob.
Look out. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Macca's.
No.
It's like a Big Mac.
Like
Like
Big Mac is.
Yeah.
because it's always good.
It's always, and it tastes the
Wow.
same no matter what.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
where you are in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
And there is a guy in the US who's eaten 36,000 of them.
No way.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. Over his lifetime, he's counted. He's really famous. You can Google him, but he's well, it might be about 40,000 now, but he's eaten that many Big Macs. He loves them.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah,
Just the Big
it's one of
Mac
those things
burger.
where it's consistently good. So there are definitely better burgers out there. And
Oh,
I've
yeah.
definitely eaten better burgers, but it's just consistently
Yeah.
a go-to. So it's a favorite.
Yeah.
Did you know? Here's a piece of random information.
Is this going to
for you.
ruin my like of McDonald's?
No. Did you know that the first McDonald's in New Zealand was actually in Porirua in
Ah.
Wellington?
Oh wow.
1975, the first one ever. It's still there.
Do you know
Just
the
saying, random
only
facts.
only McDonald's they ever shut down was in Browns Bay
Browns
in
Bay
Auckland,
next
where I
to
used
Windsor
to
Park.
where I used to live.
And the other one was in Kazakhstan.
Yeah. There you
Just
go.
saying.
Just a bit of a comparison.
Random
Funnily
facts.
enough, when I was first in New Zealand,
Good McDonald's chat this
yeah,
morning.
I know. We used to drive from Te Puke to Tauranga. It was like the big thing to come to McDonald's here. But anyway, when I was first pregnant, I had such bad morning sickness and was really losing weight. And the doctor actually said, "You need to go to McDonald's
Yeah,
and
come on.
have a Big Mac and do it consistently for a while."
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I know. That's what
And
he
you were
said to
like,
me.
I like this doctor.
And
I'm
I'm like,
coming back.
"Really?" Yeah. so
McDonald's is listening to this right now, and they're writing an ad
I know,
campaign
but
now.
it was so good because it was salty. It tasted. It was the only thing that I could eat for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very cool.
Women have cravings during pregnancy. My wife's
Yeah.
was the cheeseburger from McDonald's. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, we need that income.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway,
There we go. So McDonald's, it's a good
Yeah,
time.
There we go.
Producer Logan, what's your favorite food?
Yeah, I've got to agree with a good burger, but on top of that, a good plate of juicy ribs.
Ooh,
Ribs.
juicy ribs.
Yeah.
now Lily, what was your favorite food? You can tell us. What's your favorite food, sweetheart?
Nachos.
Nachos,
Of course,
yeah.
it's nachos.
You can never go wrong.
You can never
with
go wrong
good
with
boiled
nachos. Well, actually, no. I have a story about when you can go wrong with nachos.
Do we want to know?
Yeah. Yeah. Do
So
it
it was the last day of one of our church camps when I was still a youth. And the final meal, of course, always the last meal of a camp is always nachos. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
guaranteed you can get rid of a lot of it. You can put some of the leftover things from the other times into it. It's all good. Anyways, so I just went for it. Biggest plate I possibly could have of nachos, and it was delicious. Like, it was really, really
Smashed
good.
it. Yeah.
But then we had quite a long bus journey back.
Oh yeah. And those beans.
Yeah,
started getting to you.
they started coming to life. But there was no vom involved, of course,
Oh,
but
good.
and you know when you've eaten too much and it sits here,
Yeah.
and
so good.
me and luckily a buddy of mine were just in the exact same space. We're just like both of us, just like we had eaten way too much nachos. We were
love
super
it.
tired from camp, and we were just like sitting there like, please don't. Yeah, for a couple of hours on the way back.
wow.
So yeah, that's
so
where
good.
that's the story. I'll
First
tell.
off the bus.
There's,
Yeah.
there's some banter there from Eric's school.
We have a lot
No.
of banter going on in the background.
I think the
Come
thing
on,
the
what's
thing
going
about
on?
Eric that none of you knows, when we went away to Hui this year,
Yeah.
we went to our favorite restaurant in the world down in Christchurch, called Drexel's, which is breakfast restaurant.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting around. There's got to be 8 of us at the table.
Yeah.
And Eric's there, and he's eating his, and we're all eating ours, and it's this pile of breakfast. And then everyone's finished, and there's still stuff on their plate. And Eric's like, "Are you going to finish that?" And he smashes mine, and then, "Are you going to finish that?" And he literally went around the whole table and cleared up for us.
Wow.
And the lady comes to clear the place. He's like, "Hold on." It's just-
Yeah.
So he's an eating machine, but he's got the stature of Brian.
Yeah.
So
There you
Yeah.
go.
just to put it in
exactly.
perspective, there you go.
We can dive into this with Eric more on Tuesday because he's going to be on the show with us.
Come on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eric just commented. What was that comment, Rob? Laughy cry face.
There we go.
Georgia says burgers are the best. Going to a burger place with Brian's daughter later today.
Nice.
There we
Ooh,
go.
nice.
Hannah's down in Wellington. Yep, catching up with friends.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Nice.
Graham Randall has commented on his favorite burger, which is the peanut piston at Burger Fuel.
Oh, there we go.
That's a good choice. Good choice. Then also he says that we weren't born in 1975, Rob.
No, we weren't.
No, we were not.
No, we're just a twinkle in our parents' eyes.
Graham Randall also said that hashtag we want Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to show us
Yeah.
face at some point.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to sponsor something.
Yeah,
to
you're gonna,
see.
yeah, we're gonna have to make it worth it.
We have to
Camera
do a
in the
mug
eyes.
where we
Yeah,
only
exactly.
see.
Camera in the eyes.
Yeah. We are thinking about doing some limited edition mugs where it has each of our individual faces on it, and then a special edition run of producer
Yeah.
Logan mugs where it's just
There
his
we go.
eyes.
Just
Yeah.
his eyes over the screen.
That would be so fun.
I think
Love
that'd be
it.
great.
Yeah.
So how hilarious is this? I was just talking about this before the show. Georgia Allison says, Bernie, you should go to the fat brother that works out of Grinds at Night. Best
There we
chicken
go.
burger
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, and it's actually called the Fat Sister, isn't it?
No,
that
the
one?
place is called the Fat Brother.
Fat-
No,
Fat
that
Brother.
burger.
Oh, that burger's called the
Fat-
chicken.
yeah.
The Fat Sister, yeah.
It's called the
Oh no,
Fat
the Fat
Sister.
Girlfriend.
Oh,
That's
the
what it's
Fat Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because that's PC.
Now everybody's probably thinking we're being highly offensive right now, but this restaurant does exist.
That's right.
does.
So Grinds Cafe in town. Bit of chat because I learned about this
bit of
yesterday.
toad on the
and
chat,
It's
yeah.
blown my mind. Learned about this yesterday. Grinds Cafe in town. It closes at 5 p.m. and then
Nice.
transforms into the Fat Brother.
Yep.
where they make these incredible looking burgers,
Yeah.
overwhelmingly looking burgers.
Yeah.
And their byline is you can have it as fat as you want. So if that
There you go.
doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the place,
You choose.
That's right.
But it's dedicated to late night, so it opens at 5 on Thursday through Sunday. It's open till 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
and then Tuesday and Wednesday it's open from till like 11 p.m. kind
Yeah.
of thing.
You know, there's just going to those people that's going to rock up at 3:30, but like, come on.
Good.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
oh of course.
I want the fattest
Feed
burger you
me.
got at
Yeah.
3:30 a.m.
Yeah, but if you are a burger fan, but looking for a feed at 2 o'clock in the morning, the
There you
the
go.
fat brother looks like my better. Hook you up.
Yeah.
Might be able to hook you up.
They do deep fried Oreos and Tim Tams as well, apparently. So
And they sell Ben and Jerry's. Come on.
yeah,
Come on.
Also on Uber Eats, by the way.
they're all
Uber Eats. there you go.
dangerous information this morning on the show.
I'm just picturing how that 5 patty burger would turn up on Uber
Oh.
Eats. The guy'd be like, "What did you buy? 2 kilos of meat walking in,
It all just assimilated to one just like beefy juicy object.
Yeah.
dripping out the bottom of the bag. Here you go, sir."
Oh goodness. All I'm thinking about is the heartburn and stomach issues after
Yeah.
consuming something like
Did
that.
you say 5 patties?
You
You can
can
have
make
as
it as
many as you
fat
want.
as you want.
Yeah.
So there's a single, double, and triple.
Yep.
But you
Yeah.
can make it as fat as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Add
have the
ch- add a
fat
chicken
your
if you
way.
want.
Yeah.
How do you get your mouth around it?
I
know.
well, you could probably split it up and make it a meal for a week out of one of
Yeah,
those things.
exactly.
Deep fried
Yeah,
Oreos.
feed the
Yes,
family.
that's correct.
Yeah, Georgia Ellison is actually just commenting some good consumer advice. The deep fried Oreos aren't that great. I had a single and I'm so full afterwards.
Yeah.
There you go. What do we got?
Nice.
Michaela Gary is saying hi to Lily from your favorite kids church leaders.
There you
Yeah.
Stephen Weatherford is saying that his favorite burger place is Carl's Jr.
go. Oh yeah, that's
Ooh,
we don't have one of those here, do we?
yum. Do we?
Uh,
We used to.
Close, no, not in Tauranga.
No?
Close
Not in
ones
Tauranga.
in
Wendy's, sorry.
Hamilton,
Yeah.
in Rotorua.
Rotor, yeah.
Rotor Vegas.
Yeah.
They do the char grill,
Yeah.
So on.
the Carl's Jr.
We're
Yeah,
having
that's
some
kind of
great
thing.
food chat this morning
Yeah,
going
yes,
on.
we
Shit,
are.
Come on.
Erica, of course, is crying out from his house saying
Drexels.
Drexels.
That's right.
Drexels, Yeah.
We're gonna have to
If
do it.
anybody from Drexels is listening, I think Bethlehem would be a good place to maybe start another franchise.
Amen.
Yep.
I hear they do biscuits and gravies there.
They do.
That's one of my
They
other
do.
all-time favorite foods. So,
Yeah. So all the Americans are like, "Yeah, it's Drexel."
yeah.
Stephen also says, I remember a burger place that used to be down Devonport Road called the East Coasters. The
That's
burgers were the
right.
size of a dinner plate and they only cost $12 if I remember.
Oh,
That's right.
That's
yeah.
probably why they're no
They used
longer
to
in
do
business.
Mexican food, remember?
What year was that?
1975.
1975.
Oh, goodness. Oh, lots of good chat on the show this morning.
Bruce line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way past
Food banter,
Bruce
Bruce
line.
Food banter, Bruce Line. That's okay. We will press on. So it's so great to have you with us this morning. As is customary on Thursday morning. Speaking, we're going to continue the food chat, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is time for our weekly flavor tip with
Come
Flavor
on.
Yeah,
Rob.
Flavor
Here we
Rob,
go,
come
here we
on.
go. Lovely to be bringing a winter flavor tip today. And this one's just for Brian because Brian's a pudding man. He likes a bit of pudding. So one of the all-time winter favorites is a sticky date pudding.
Oh,
come on.
yes.
Winter
oh,
sticky
my
date pudding.
gosh. Yeah.
And it's the thing that's beautiful about a sticky date pudding is you can do it in a large cake pan and just cut it into
Yeah.
squares, or you can do it in individual cups if you want to be fancy schmancy.
yeah.
But they're
So
also freezable, so you can freeze
Yeah.
them and you just pull them out each night. So you can make
Wow.
12 of them, have them over
Ooh.
12
Every
nights.
night for a week.
Yeah.
You can make the butterscotch sauce that goes in the fridge. It
Yeah.
lasts a couple weeks.
If you have a
just
bad
put that
day, you can just
puppy
drink
in-
the butterscotch
That's
short
right.
straight.
Put that puppy in the microwave and drink that sucker back.
Yeah.
So anyway, how to make these beautiful things. So there's a number of ways with all of these tips. You can go online, seriously, on just Google, and they
Yeah.
often have similarities.
Yeah.
So a basic sticky date pudding recipe will have 3 components. The first one is a mixture of baking soda, water, and your dates. Okay, so you need about a cup of dates, 300 mils of boiling water, and about 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. If you put too much baking soda in it, you taste it for the rest of the
Okay, yeah.
through the rest of it. So baking soda is one of those fickle things you got to put in there. Anyway, so that froths up, and then you want to make a mixture of about 50 grams of butter, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar.
Oh,
Yes, I
wow.
said brown sugar.
Gives
And
it that deep flavor,
oh yeah, it's that deep,
color.
dark, rich,
Yeah.
butterscotchy. And 1/4 of a cup of golden syrup and 2 eggs. And then you want to put a little bit of vanilla essence in there. You want to whip that up until it's frothy. You can do it in a machine, but you can do
Yeah.
it by hand if you don't have a machine. So that's component number 2. Component number 3 is about 1.5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, And then you can choose if you want to do this. Some people don't like it, but crystallized ginger. You want to cut that up, little tiny little pieces, and you sprinkle that in there.
Fancy.
And then just
for
get little pops
texture.
of that flavor in there. Oh, it's so good. So you fold all of those things together, and that's your mix. You put it in the oven, 180 for 30 minutes. You've got your butterscotch, you've got your sticky date puddings. You can do them in cups or you can do them in one big baking tin. It will be quite a wet mixture, but that's okay. Let it be a wet mixture because it comes out moist and squidgy and happiness. And as I say, they can be frozen. So your butterscotch sauce, a real simple way of doing butterscotch sauce is brown sugar, butter, and vanilla. And you just cook that in a pan until it comes together, and then you just pour on some cream, about half a cup of cream, and then that is just happiness in a pan right there. Happiness in a pan. Pour that over, and you're great. But you've always got to serve it with either some ice cream, maybe some creme fraiche. Ice cream, I would use vanilla bean or hokey pokey.
Greek yogurt.
Oh, Greek yogurt.
I love
Come
the Greek
on.
yogurt with it,
Or some really good vanilla custard. Custard's really good. And that's your winter warmer. You're going to sit in front of the TV eating that going, oh, my life is so good.
Oh, I want one of those right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Every spoonful is like decadent and
That's right.
amazing.
This is one of those
Goodness.
situations, Rob, where I wish you go, and now I've prepared these earlier, and then
Yeah.
comes someone with a
That's
tray
right.
of them.
I wish.
it's not
So
happening.
as
I'm looking at the door like, come on.
And it's so warm. And
Yeah.
just perfect.
And the thing is that you can make a big batch and you can have it, you can prepare it earlier. You got people coming around. It's a great way. People just like, that is such a good pudding. And you keep it in the freezer and in the fridge for over a week, probably 2 weeks in the freezer with the others. So get that in your life.
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
Get that in your life. This
Oh.
evening
Today-
after dinner.
Today is a day for.
Oh, yeah.
Oh goodness, producer Logan, if you actually made that and took it to young adults, you'd be the king of young adults.
That's right.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You'd be on the shoulders of everybody.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Oh man, what a flavor!
There you
tip.
go.
Yeah.
Sticky
Wow.
date pudding.
Awesome
Sticky
flavor tip.
dates. There
And
you
if
go.
you're intimidated by the idea of actually making it properly, there's the was it the Sara Lee ones? You can get
Oh,
a
yeah.
microwave and you still get one.
Cheap
You
and
don't-
nasty.
Yeah.
Cheap and nasty one.
But I tell you about that butterscotch sauce, it's great for fondue as well. So if you want chocolate or cheese fondue, go for a butterscotch fondue. Put your fruit in there, bake some bananas and grill them, and put that butterscotch sauce over. Stop it. There we go.
Peter and Sandra Joseph, you'll have this on the website. And no, we unfortunately won't. You can watch this back and grab the recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Slow motion.
it'd be the perfect kind of thing for a New World shop to be able to put out a post.
Exactly.
Flavor Rob's New World recipes
That's
for
You want
sticky day
tips?
pudding.
I
You
got
want
them for
tips?
you.
I can see a good connection working out there.
In-store
there we
cooking
go.
show. There we go.
There we go.
Coming to you live.
Those
this morning.
demos. Yeah.
Did live demos with Flavor Rob. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you that. We'll talk to the manager Pedro about this.
There we go.
Graham is just echoing the fact that you can eat the butterscotch sauce by itself.
That's right.
Yeah.
By
Man
the
of- man of
spoon.
experience.
By the spoon.
That's right.
You know, I love it how Graham asked me, Graham Rundle, I love you, but he says, Pedro, now where is Peter from? And I'm going, Nelson. I mean, Pedro goes, Pedro. I'm going, no, Peter's from Nelson. Which
just
I
call him
thought was so
Pedro.
sweet.
Been on the show?
No, he has not.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't even walked past the background on.
He hasn't.
No.
You've missed
I
it.
saw a
but
hand come in once
think
with a
we've
cup
seen
of
a hand.
tea. Like, here you go.
Yeah,
The strong
I think he
side
likes
side.
to keep it that way.
Yeah,
He's
there
a
you
man
go.
of mystery
That's
in a
right.
sense as well.
He's
Stays-
just the hand.
He's-
It's a good hand.
Oh goodness! Well, it's so good to have you with us this morning on Mornings Together, Rob, Mon, and Bernie. I guess, of course, there's Brian Kirby. Thank you again for that flavor tip, Rob.
Welcome. Very
Yeah.
welcome.
There are people today making
We're still
plans.
comatose.
They're
with
causing
that.
by. They're
Yeah.
going to cruise by the supermarket and get the stuff for that tonight
Yeah.
for sure. Got a few things to share with us this morning. The first, of course, you can fire through your stories at bethlehem.org.nz. I received a lovely email, several emails actually, but I got a lovely email from Belinda Ingley saying that thanks again for mornings together. The great discussions and breakdown of Sunday service is awesome. Still listening later in the evenings, although this particular day I listened while I was on my lunch break at Pukahina Beach.
Nice.
It was sunny and warm day and so clear I could see Whakari in the background. It is a nice stop for a moment in the busyness of life. She was meant to be in Fiji right now, and Rob, you're supposed to be going to
Oh,
Hawaii.
Wow. Yeah.
Things could be worse. Going to take some time off work anyway. Blessings to you guys, Belinda Ingley.
Oh
Great stuff.
wow.
Great
stuff.
Thank you.
And we did have an email from Hannah,
Yeah.
who watches later on the day as well. She was
She
she was commenting on the episode where you talked about horrible youth group stories.
Oh, yeah.
And she was saying that at one of her youth group events, 2 kids ended up in the A&E because they used the chocolate sauce on their face
That is so good.
that had like either nuts in it or something like that, and so their faces swelled and went all red, and they had to go to the A&E.
Wow.
Oh,
I
my
got some
goodness.
goodies for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
I mean,
goodness.
15 years of youth ministry gave us some
Yeah.
good
Oh,
stories.
yeah.
So.
So the summary from her was like, for information, don't paint flags and faces with Hershey's chocolate sauce.
Hershey's.
There
It's
you
pretty
go.
darn good flavor.
It is. All right, so you can still fire through your stories to us at Stories Bethlehem, and we'll share them on the show. Love hearing from you guys during this time. You can follow us and tag us on social media using @BethBapChurch. So Facebook, Instagram, all works with that. You know what we haven't had in a long time? We haven't had a TikTok in a long time.
Yeah, TikTok. Let's go.
Well, that they kind of flick it out really
Yeah.
right at the beginning of
Yeah.
things.
I
So
heard one of our elders had done one.
Yeah?
With his daughter.
I heard that.
Oh,
I've heard
yes.
that also.
Mr.
so
Andrew.
I wonder if we need to bring those back.
We gotta see that.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
see that.
Come on.
Katie.
Our kid-
Janelle.
Yeah.
Our care department is here for you. So if you need help at any point, just get in touch. care@bethlehem.org.nz or you can call that number 075762344. Eric, who will be with us on Tuesday, of course, leads all that. So you can get in touch with them if you need some help. You can also fire through your prayer requests. So when you compose a message, you use keyword BBC Prayer, and then you send it to the number 4040, and that will come through to us, and we can pray for you. Love praying for you over the week and on Sunday mornings as well. Speaking of Sunday mornings, we will be here in person at 9 o'clock and 11 a.m., the two services on Sunday morning with kids programs and everything. You can join us online for the 9 o'clock where it will be live hosted. And so the 9 o'clock will be available on all the different platforms you're currently watching the show right now. So looking forward to joining you this Sunday morning. We, of course, once we finish up these times together, we put this out on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Thank you to all those who listen later in the day. It is great to have you with us around the virtual campfire. It is warm and toasty any time of the day you choose to arrive. So just search Mornings Together and you'll be able to find those there as well. I don't have a bumper for it, but I want to let you know as well, on the 26th of July, we begin our kind of evening, Sunday evening activities again with a prayer and praise event on the 26th of July. We're calling it Out of Exile, and it's quite fitting for the season we're in, as we've talked about quite a bit on the show. But we'd love to have as many of us there for that evening. It'll be an time of extended prayer and praise, doing some really cool stuff. We're really pumped about it. Love to see the auditorium full of people just giving their all for Jesus. So 26th of July at 6:30 p.m. Would love to see all of you there. We will be streaming it as well, but love to have you there in person.
Absolutely.
No, worship night. Can't wait.
Can't
wait.
It's going to be so good. And if you want to see Georgia in person, she's going to fly up for it. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. So those are the housekeeping things like that.
Yeah.
I do love those worship nights. They're so good.
They are very well worth your effort and time.
Oh.
And just to soak in God's presence. It's awesome.
And to have their first worship night coming out of lockdown is like, oh my goodness, it's just going to be tremendous.
It's one of those things that, I talk a lot of the Bible about, you create the little altar to remember times and things. And those worship nights are that for me.
Yeah.
Like we've done 10 of them since I was here.
Yeah.
And I remember every single
me too.
one, or a significant moment for each one. I think I've only missed one because I was overseas, but they're significant times.
Really amazing.
Cool.
Really good stuff goes down. George is saying, I looked at flights and it's cost me $200 for the weekend. So if anybody wants to sponsor Georgia a flight so she can come to worship night, she will bake pikelets for you. There we go. Sorted. And we'll give you a mug.
We'll give you a mug.
We'll give you a mug. All right, we're going to jump into the interview with Brian right now. So Brian. Hello. We've already refuted the fact you weren't involved with the SAS at any point. But
we think.
We think.
Yeah,
we think.
Yeah.
We think. Keep the mystery alive.
Yeah. So you've already said you've been here at BBC. You work with FaZe, which is our intermediate group, which actually meet just through the wall here in a very, very cool room. But you're also involved with 24/7 youth work. But I want to go back a while. I want to go back to the beginning.
Back to the beginning. Wow.
When and how did you meet Jesus?
Wow, that's a while ago. I was thinking about this question just over the last couple of days, and it goes back in time. I went to boarding school, Anglican boarding school, when I was 10 years old, very young, for a couple of years, and I only realised this literally thinking about it. I became a Christian in my first year of university. But I went to university with some very strong morals. I didn't want to get involved in sex, drugs, that sort of stuff. It was just, but that was the lifestyle I was choosing. But when I became a Christian, I actually realized that I actually built quite a strong foundation at boarding school with some biblical knowledge and a lot of church going, not becoming a Christian. The form teacher in my first year when I was 10, 11 years old was actually the padre of the school.
Oh, cool.
And man, I challenged that guy.
Oh, yeah.
during religious studies, I was that one with the hand up going, yeah, but what? Yeah, but, and I questioned him. I questioned God. So, interesting that obviously that foundation was laid then. But when I went to university, I went along there very, very quiet, very, very introverted sort of person, very shy, particularly around females. But my cousin lived across the road from where I was staying, and he took me across and introduced me to these people, and I really liked these people, and they said they just wanted me to hang out. And over time, I actually found out that these guys were Christians, and they invited me into their circle. They were all-encompassing, loving on me, and just really friendly. And then over time, invited me to church, and it took time, but became a Christian. Yeah,
awesome.
So it was crazy.
And now you're the guy getting all those awkward questions from those kids.
Absolutely.
I love how the circle of life
Wow.
comes around.
Now, just focusing on that time when you were at university. Now, you actually know our guests who were on the show a couple weeks ago, Bryce and Kate Gilmore, quite well.
Yes.
But I hear that there was some shenanigans that would occur quite regularly in those
Never,
times. Do you want
Brian.
to share a couple of stories?
Sure. Now, those people I met were actually Kate and Bryce Gilmore. But
Wow.
they were obviously they weren't a couple then.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool group of friends. So Kate and Bryce were part of that circle, which is really cool. Again, the full circle thing.
Yep.
So we're still really strong mates now. We've got a really strong network from back at those times.
So good.
But my lack of hair is probably primarily Kate Gilmore. So thanks, Kate. So yes, back then it was crazy days. I moved into Student Village at university. I was on the same floor as Kate, and just things that went on those floors. Kate and I went to an exam one day. We had the same exam. We came back and our rooms had been swapped. Totally, like the posters on the wall, the bedding, everything. It was like,
That's
that is
amazing.
Sharing the same floor as Kate, you've got the shower room, and you'd sort of hop out of the shower and reach for the towels. Like some days there'd be no towel, and you pull out, "Where's my towel?" And then suddenly a tea towel would come over the top. Like, thanks. And other times you'd walk from the shower to your bedroom, go to open your undies drawer, and it's like, "Hang on, I'm sure I had at least one pair here."
Look around.
And then Kate will walk past and say, "You're looking for your undies?" I go, "Yeah, they're in the freezer." So what you do is get the undies, get them all wet, put them in a bread bag, and freeze them overnight, so they're a solid block of undies. So
That's
I mean, this
class.
is literally why I've lost my hair.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff. And
Brian was broken down slowly
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
university.
Yeah.
and I flatted with Bryce and a couple of other guys, Grant and Mike, and Kate was in another flat. 3 of us from our flat were dating 3 of the girls from the other flat. So
Oh.
Wow.
yeah, it was
Wow.
crazy.
And you're all still around here in Tauranga, aren't you?
We over time all
Yeah.
came here.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
So
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So really strong connections.
Yeah.
Our kids have grown up knowing each other and part
Yeah.
of this wider family. So
Yeah.
it's
That's
really cool.
amazing.
Only,
And
you know,
are like family.
Mm.
Yeah.
when I was working for Steiger in New Zealand, we did have a good culture of pranking that would happen, and so we would prank Bryce and Kate Gilmore quite regularly.
Nice.
Like things
Okay.
like they would come back from overseas, and we would have removed all their light bulbs from their house and
So
hid them
good.
places. They
Tinfoil
did-
wrap? Was there a tinfoil wrap one?
There's a tinfoil wrap one,
Mm.
but the best one I think we ever did was it was around the time that Ebola was quite a big thing in the news, and they just come back, and we had gotten the inserts for beanbags.
Oh yeah.
And print off little labels that said Ebola on it, and just like spread it throughout their entire house, like
That's so good to hear.
everywhere, inside books,
Wow.
inside drawers, inside
Oh, my
under
word.
sheets, in their car, air vents and stuff like that. When it turned on, it all came out.
Good grief.
To this day, if you go to the Gilmore house, you will probably find little white balls with
Wow.
there'll be a tag of Ebola somewhere within a book somewhere.
That's-
My word.
It's so good to hear from you. It's like, hey, that's
Sweet
great.
revenge.
There you go.
Absolutely.
But no, the fantastic times. So we're gonna move. So what were some of the significant moments from that point that you became a Christian to, I guess, your arrival at BBC and into what you're doing now?
Wow. It's
Just
quite
a short
it's
period of
quite a
time.
history.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot. It's been becoming a Christian in first year of university in a non-Christian family. It was quite a change.
Yeah.
But because I was introverted and quiet and had quite strong morals, it wasn't a huge noticeable change initially.
Yeah.
But over time, it's been good. Meeting Marion was a significant part of that. It was in my second year. So yeah, and she again came into that group as a non-Christian and started hanging out with friends, and similar to my story, I guess. So that was
Yeah.
significant. And yeah, we've done a lot over our 30 years together. We've travelled around, worked overseas, and there's been times that I've not walked closely with God, but always known that God was there for me. Always believed in God and always had a Christian faith, but there's been times I haven't been as close as I have other times. So yeah, just various jobs, a lot of my jobs. And I mean, put it back into perspective, I did a degree in science, moved into management, and now I'm working in youth. It's just such a contrast.
Makes sense to me.
And a huge part of that was a number of years ago when my youngest was just turning 5. Before she was 5, I was in a role that's a management role. I was doing really well in the company, and I sort of went on a mission trip. And while I was away on the mission trip with part of BBC, my whole world changed. I think my whole life values sort of. And someone used an analogy for me. It was, I was climbing the ladder, but I realized the ladder was on the wrong wall. So I was climbing up in the company and management, but actually I realized this isn't what I want to achieve. So yeah, I came back, and actually after a few months, I actually resigned from that role. And it was a good role, good money, good car, everything. But actually did a job swap with Marion. So Marion went into full-time work, and I was a house dad. So I was looking after Sarah, who's a preschooler. And that was huge for me. And I still have a very strong relationship with Sarah, I think, based on that time. So
Wow, that's so cool.
we'd wake up in the morning and I'd say, "What do you want to do today, Sarah?" She'd say, "Baking."
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
So yeah,
Nice.
that was, so I learned how to bake.
Sounds like Lily.
Oh,
Sounds like
cute.
Lily, yeah.
So that was significant for me. And I think from that time, I was just trying to establish what I wanted to do in life, and really drawn to just working with youth. I love working with kids, with youth. Yeah. So
Awesome.
It's so cool.
So at what point did you start here at BBC?
We came to this church a number of years ago, I 14, 15, something. But for me, it was when Alex became a year 7, so his intermediates. He came along to Phase, and I was just hanging out. I was at an event, and Terry Cunningham was running the events, and he said, "Oh, what are you doing? Come and help us out," So that's where it started, basically, as a volunteer. So that was 10 years ago, helping out just with the events. Then I started taking photos at the events. That was just one of my roles. And over time, she said, "Do you want to help us run them?" And it just grew from there. So became more and more involved in the events themselves. And then just again, it was just drawn to hanging out with kids. So it was great. Moved into a part-time role, and then more recently, 5 years ago, full-time role with the school stuff.
So good.
Fantastic.
So good. Darren Porter's made a comment. Obviously, he missed the beginning of the show where we found out the truth about the SAS. All the rumor. No, he was not in the SAS, but it's a highly confidential matter, and he wasn't very clear.
And he was nodding when he said that.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
No, I totally wasn't in the SAS.
That's right.
No idea what he's doing.
No idea what you're talking about.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's right. I can confirm or deny.
Angela says good morning, but then she also asks, "Are you cold, Rob?"
Yep.
Seeing you wearing a jacket.
Freezing.
Yeah.
And good morning to you, Angela.
Good morning. We did have the heater on in here, but it makes too much noise, so we've had to turn it
That's
off.
right.
So it is slowly getting
slowly
colder.
getting
again.
colder and colder.
You'll
You'll see us clam up more and more.
We'll just start going closer together. As well. Graham Randall actually, and Graham and Carol say, "Great story in obedience to God."
Amazing, Brian. Yeah.
Yeah, not hard, God.
Yeah. And it's so neat though, because you are great with kids. And I was having coffee with Sophie Paul, who said, "You should see Brian's the man on campus."
Yes.
She's working with you in the 24/7 at BC. She said he goes and he knows the kids' names, and they're like, "Brian."
Yeah.
So awesome. She was so I'm enamored by that. So,
but it's
cool.
not just the Phase kids. I've stood next to him on the desk at youth when 200 odd kids are coming through the door, and he knows everyone. Each one.
Yeah.
Hey, you did it. Hey, you did it. Hey, you. Hey.
Brian is somehow a walking database of knowing these
of people's
people.
names. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's really cool.
I was thinking about that again this morning, back when in the day, it was actually phone numbers. So if I used a phone number, it was just committed to memory, and Marion say, "Oh, do you know my phone number such and such?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." But over time, it's actually, you don't need to know phone numbers now because it's on your mobile.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's become names, and it actually is a gift, and I do really appreciate the gift that I have.
And it's a gift to the people too, because I know one of the key things about youth ministry is if you can remember my name, you care about me.
Exactly.
It's a huge gift. Absolutely.
But it's so cool. Like you do have a beautiful gift there, because you do make people feel so welcome because you remember their name, you remember who they are. even though they're siblings half the time as well, like you have those and you remember birth dates and things as well. Like all this stuff is
There's
just
a database at the
amazing.
church, though.
Yeah, that's
so,
it.
so my secret there is I actually look at the database a week ahead and think, who might I come across this week at school?
Yeah.
It's on the door at church,
Brian,
perhaps.
that's so
But
cool.
there's
That's
such a
so
cool-
thoughtful.
such a cool
Yeah.
intentionality with
I
that.
love
such
that.
a great heart with that.
Yeah.
So of course the big thing for us recently has been COVID-19, and it pushed you into some uncomfortable territory.
TV star.
TV
He
star.
was.
But how is it for you? But also how is it for I guess the young people you were involved with and the ministry stuff?
How was it for me personally? To be honest, absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think week one, I sort of hit the wall and I was like, I really don't like this.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things going on. Like Rob, we'd had a trip that we'd planned and it was sort of like, this is going to be gone. Actually, we were flying up this Sunday. So yeah, so that was actually a sort of a realization. And I don't know, I sort of went into a sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't say depressed state, but certainly, yeah, it was a difficult time. And just not being around people. I had Marion and Hannah and Sarah were at home, so I had people around me, family, but just not being involved in youth and phase and school, that sort of thing. It was a really hard time. We put things in place, like I was trying to work from the dining room table, that did not work. So Marion said, how about you work from Alex's room? So yeah, that was good. Just missed really being around people. We put in place the things through phase. We did Zoom calls on a daily basis, and we had numbers that up and down, but it was really cool to connect with kids. Not the same. I mean, Zoom is better than a phone call, better than a text, but it's still not live. It's still not face to face. You don't feel someone. You can see their face, but it's nothing like it. So yeah, we had some good times. We ran competitions through Facebook for obviously the parents reading them, and the kids had challenges, so we were having those coming through. So there was interaction with the kids, but nothing like we do on Sundays. Yeah, and I keep, even Sunday just gone, I actually said to the kids, it is so good to be back. This is week 3, and I'm still saying that. It's so good to be back.
But it's so true. It is still so good to be back. Like it's one of those things, like you have like a monthly rotation of who attends a big church like this, and so each week you are still seeing new people that you didn't get to see the weeks prior again. So
it is a bizarre thing to go from a role that is 90% people to 0. And you're just interacting with a screen and doing things that just feel so odd. And I felt for Brian, or the whole team were trying to come up with a new way of doing things with nobody. That 90% of your job's with someone. So,
and the biggest difficulty for me was the filming. It was very intense. I mean, it's a 10-minute segment. And you think, that'll take 15 minutes to film?
No.
The amount of preparation that would go into one of those segments each week was just crazy.
Days.
Joe and I would talk about what we wanted to bring. We'd talk through a script together, what we'd want to bring. And I really did not film well. Marion would say to me, "You need to smile more." I was like, smiling at the
Thank you,
camera,
darling.
seriously. And I knew that myself, but it was just hard to bring that energy. Yeah, exactly. That. Whereas Joe really pulled it off. I mean, her personality shone through the camera. She was exactly what she was on camera than she's off, and I really appreciate for what she did for there. I think it would have just been the Brian show. We'd have had no.
You guys did so well. Like you don't put yourself down too much, because like every week behind the scenes, I got to get all the final products from Charles, and then I'd assemble it for Sunday morning to go out, kind of thing. And so I got to watch every single thing in advance, and watched it a few times. And you guys were great. Like,
you were really
I love the content.
You did
I
a
agree. The
fantastic,
content is fantastic.
You did a fantastic job.
You really did, Brian.
You and Joe together
really
really smashed it.
I know it's a great team.
Yeah, I know it was hard, but you really smashed it.
So that was difficult. Yeah, every week thinking, the pressure of filming. Yeah, and you go to film, and then the dishwasher would go. Okay, move from the dishwasher. It was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
Like we said, if we ever showed those outtakes.
Oh yeah, there are too many outtakes to make into an outtake reel, because
hours of it.
I know. I would literally go, Cheryl, take 87. Okay, here we go.
I remember I was filming the notices, and I did a perfect take. I was so stoked, only to find that the camera hadn't been recording the entire time at all. And it was the next time I had to go try and do it, there were dogs barking and everything.
It was the neighbors talking. It was the battery running out. It was like no storage on my phone. It was crazy.
Speaking of surround noises, you might be hearing in the background the national anthem. Someone was singing it just now. I think there might be a group either just out here or downstairs.
Just right there. We can
producer Logan, you might want to just have a look to see if
I think they might have been phased.
All right, just have a quick look. But if you're hearing weird noises coming from the peripheral, it's not Lily singing in the background. It's very quiet. It's someone in the building near us,
or somewhere really close.
But it's nice. It's one of
Yeah.
these things you do have to
Yeah.
walk
Accommodate.
through and work with. And
Yeah.
that we talked a bit during the COVID-19 series about how that looking into someone's bedroom or into kitchen
Yeah.
creates this vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I think that people were okay with
Absolutely.
hearing random noises and cuts and stuff like that because it was like I'm peering into Brian's house. I'm
Yeah.
with Brian wherever he is. I'm with Rob
Yeah.
and
Yep.
in the garden.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is kind of cool. We've got a couple of comments coming in for you, Brian. Angela Brennan is saying, "You did so well, Brian. My daughter Amelia loved watching you and is now looking forward to Phase next year."
Oh,
So
good.
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then Graham and Carol's coming to say, "You and Joe were great. We love watching as oldies."
Yeah.
There you
And that was the
Cool.
thing. Like I was hearing this a lot. Is that whole families would sit down to watch, but they'd watch from 8:30 and they'd watch all the kids programming.
Yeah.
And even people who may not necessarily have been in that like age bracket were like, "I'm keen. Let's watch this.
Yeah.
Let's get involved with that." So
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, that was the highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being, online and one of the hosts kind of thing. I was like, "Ooh, here we go. It's
Yeah.
8:30. Let's go." Yeah.
And
That's
it's actually for the wider church.
Yeah.
99% of the time, they don't actually get to know what happens in Phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They trust that Brian's doing a good
Exactly.
thing, but now they can see him and Joe doing
Yeah.
a good thing. Youth,
Yeah.
kids, it was good for the church. to
We've
see.
had
Absolutely.
requests now of is there any way of doing something before church starts on a Sunday morning so we can still see the kids program
See,
stuff
yeah.
and what's going on?
Really.
Yeah.
We put a live feed through.
And I think that was the benefit of having the programming is that people from all generations were able to see everything
Yeah.
from,
That's
from
right.
Exactly.
preschool right through to the adult
Yeah.
services.
Yeah.
And the comments that have come from, when I've been on the door a couple of times,
Mhm.
people who don't have kids, maybe even grandkids,
Yeah.
Mhm.
are coming through and saying what amazing content there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
through those programming. So yeah,
Yeah, cool. So
Crazy.
producer Logan, what's going on with the
There's a language class going on next door.
Oh, perfect. That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
and the singing.
Good morning language class.
Yeah.
Good to have you with us on the show. It guess that that are on the show without them knowing that they're on
Yeah.
the show.
Maybe they can't hear it. Is it right?
It's fine. It's fine. We'll press on. Now, moving along because I've just noticed the time. So we'll press on. So you guys did amazing during lockdown.
Yeah,
you need
you
to know
really
that.
did. Yeah.
So you're back in action.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
had 3 Sundays already. Sorry, I'm fighting off a sneeze at the same time. So if I did some weird facials just then, that's why. And you're back in schools again with 24/7 youth
Yes.
work.
Yep.
So you're getting to get alongside with these young people. What is the best way to support young people as we come out of COVID,
Yeah.
the lockdown time, and as we move forward? Because
Mm,
it wasn't only weird for people of our age; it was weird for young people as well. And
yeah.
there's probably some stuff going on there. I would
Yeah.
assume.
There still isn't. In 24/7, we're not counsellors.
Yeah.
So really, it's just getting kids to open up and talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Some are reluctant. My sort of leading question is, so how was it for you during lockdown?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think it very much depends on the personality of the kid. The
Yeah.
introverted ones absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
The gamers, man. they
The
were
gamers
heavy.
loved it. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Finish
They
all the
leveled up.
games.
They leveled up.
Yeah.
The extroverts, they really struggled. I think. I mean, I always consider myself an extrovert, but obviously the people thing is huge for me.
Yeah.
And those who were relational really struggled through lockdown.
Yeah.
They missed being around friends. They missed and kids who didn't really enjoy school actually started missing school because
Yeah.
it's community, because it's
Yeah.
relational.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just asking those questions and being honest myself, saying, look, I really hated lockdown, and here are the reasons why.
Yeah.
Just not
Yeah.
being around people, and it just opens up kids to talk about what things went on, and
Yeah.
So, and you're absolutely right. We think of us as an adult generation, how difficult it is us, but kids actually suffer hugely as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, I'm sure there was some good times. The fact that like kids got to spend more time with their parents during that time, but
Yes.
Yep.
you always see this. Like kids always see what's going on for parents and stuff like that, and that affects them. Like if
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
fighting or
Yeah.
money issues with parents, the kids often feel it and react to it as well.
Absolutely.
Some of the prayer blocks we've had since being back from lockdown was kids being appreciative that their parents had an essential service like
Yeah.
a job.
Mm.
And I think the pressure parents perceive, particularly with intermediates, they think that they don't catch on.
Yeah.
But kids pick up on,
Oh,
mum and
very
dad are worried
yeah,
about the money
intuitive,
or the
yeah.
job. They are so open to that stuff, and actually
Yeah.
affects them as well.
Mm.
So,
So what would you think would be? I didn't write this question, but like say 2 conversation starters that a parent could have with maybe their intermediate age child, just to gauge how they're doing at this point in time.
It's a big one. I'll use an example. I was listening to Life FM driving into work the other day, and I can't remember what the content was, but the question was, I've got an intermediate age kid. Should we be discussing this with them?
Mm.
And the commentator said, I can't remember the dialogue, but basically they said that they are so open to stuff
Yeah.
that you need to be including them in the conversation.
Yeah.
Because like I said just now, is they are so aware of what's going on around
Yeah.
them.
Anyway. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I would say treat them as not an adult, but be aware that they are so receptive and so aware of their surroundings.
Yeah.
And I guess leading questions. So how are you feeling about this?
Yeah.
Are you aware of this? It's just being genuine. And that's the thing with working with youth. You've got to be genuine. Whether they're 12 or whether they're 18, just be absolutely genuine. If you don't know the answer, tell them. And just be interested in what they do. And I think that's a key thing is saying, hey, so what are sports you're involved in, or what's your favorite thing outside school?
Which is really great, engaging with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Having worked with intermediate kids as well. Yeah, they're so savvy. They know, they already know a lot of what's going on, but just kind of, hey, what sport do you do? Hey, and just engaging that way. Yeah.
So good. Good advice, Brian. Hey, finally this morning, just before we begin to wrap up, so what is your hope for the new normal? We've talked about that. We're in a new phase. Things aren't the same.
I mean, being part of 24/7, and I've been in Otamoto Intermediate for a number of years. We have just signed an agreement with Bethlehem College.
Awesome.
To be honest, I would love to see the churches in Tauranga, across New Zealand, but particularly in Tauranga, get into all the schools and be working as youth workers. To be walking alongside youth. And I think lockdown has brought that more to my attention. Even though I was relational, I actually want to be more intentionally relational.
Yeah, that's right.
What we do on Sunday mornings here, what we do in schools, all that stuff. So that's my new norm. We're trying to be, and we're making some changes at phase as well, because again, that relational thing. We want to have, we want to develop small groups in there to be more relational.
Awesome.
More open.
So, Brian, that's so cool.
So good, Brian.
Yeah.
So good. Well, we're going to wrap things up in a minute. And Brian, in a moment, we'll invite you to pray for us as we close out our time together. But just want to remind you that the Sunday service is at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock here at BBC. The 9 o'clock, of course, will be live streamed and live hosted, so you can join in that way if you want to do it that way. We're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday morning if you're going to be here in person. We'll be back on Tuesday morning with Mr. Skippy, Mr. Eric, leader of the care stuff here at BBC. Just catch up with him. He's a fan favorite, is Eric.
Yes,
great to catch up with him, but also to pull apart the Sunday message. We've got Tim Collins sharing this Sunday at church.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
Which would be great. He's been on the show with us before, as you will remember. So hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. But Brian, why don't you pray for us as we close the time out?
Thank you. Yes, Lord, I just thank you so much for the privilege of coming on this show. I thank you for this show. I thank you for the connection that this show has to the wider community across New Zealand and maybe the world. Lord, I just really pray a blessing on our listeners and the people who, have been through lockdown. Everyone has been through lockdown, God. And I just pray that people are open, people are honest, and if they have struggles, that they would find the right people to support them. Lord, I thank you for the youth. I just really pray into our youth in this nation. Lord, just be with them as they go into school holidays this weekend. And I just really pray for a refreshing, a relaxation for the teachers also. And Lord, just be with us in this church, in the churches in the city, in this nation, to lead by example, to be there to care. And this whole relational thing, God, you are the King of relationships.
Amen.
And Lord, I just really pray that we would just be able to witness that into our community. Just ask that in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Well, thank you, Brian, so much for taking some time out and being with us this
so
morning.
Awesome, Brian.
Thanks so much for having me.
Lily, thank you for being on the show with us this morning as well.
Thank you.
No, thank you. But that is us for today. Hang on, we just got one comment from Georgia. What an incredible, encouraging chat. Brian, you're amazing. I always remember the first time I came to youth and asked my name, and you asked my name, and weeks later when I returned, you remembered.
There you go.
So
That's our Brian.
There you go. Well, that's us for today. We'll catch you guys back here on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Laters.